What's up, Chicago? It's Friday at 5, and hey, it has snowed like hell in Chicago, and that's what's going on. But it's Friday at 5, and it's that time, a conversation with Brother Raymond, and I've got my head rag on because I've been shoveling snow and throwing salt all day, and I'm gonna get my behind at the screen and let these people do their show. But I want you to get this cut. I want you to buy the whole. I want you to buy the whole track, the whole, the whole album. It's called "Love Is Possible" by Zimra. You can get it on most streaming apps. Zimra is a local artist from right here in Chicago. She is a professional jazz artist. So please get the track. And isn't this an awesome rendition of what's going on? Because what the hell is going on? Well, ask the conversation with Brother Raymond. And now, here is Raymond Richards.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of A Conversation with Brother Raymond. I'm your host, Brother Raymond. As always, let us bow our heads in prayer, giving God honor and the praise. Heavenly Father, we come to you thanking you for waking us up in our right frame of mind, allowing us to live to see another day, allowing us to go about our busy days, allowing us to accomplish and achieve some of the things that you want us to accomplish and achieve. We pray that you keep all hurt, harm, and danger away from us, and that you bring peace and understanding to our souls. We pray all these things in your mighty, magnificent name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another conversation with Brother Raymond. I am your host, Brother Raymond. Today we have an awesome guest, a true friend of mine, legendary. Her name is Myrtle R. Jackson. She'll be joining us in a few minutes. And while I have a few minutes, let me first give a shout out to Martha Helping Hands, 501c3 not-for-profit organization who's feeding the homeless right here in Houston, Texas, and founded by Nicole Turner, my fiance. I love you. Thank you. I salute you. I appreciate all that you do and your team. Your whole team, Larry, Selena, Lil Joe, Melina, and the whole staff. I don't want to forget nobody, so we're going to say the whole staff, right? And we'll be feeding and clothing the homeless soon. Y'all stay tuned in the Houston area. Today we have a very exciting show. It's one of the most giving sisters that I have come across in a long time, and I'm telling you, from her heart, it is truly from her heart. Myrtle Jackson is an awesome sister, awesome sister, and she'll be on to talk about her Excel into Independence, which is a phenomenal organization, and it is ran by a phenomenal sister. But before we get in that, I'm going to salute out to my family and friends out there in the Chicagoland area as well as in the Texas area. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to get into the 16-year-old who was arrested in Chicago for shooting the Chicago shooting that killed this 8-year-old girl. My heart goes out to the family and their time of bereavement. And I just want to read a few segments while we wait on Sister Myrtle to come on screen. It says 16-year-old accused of firing the fatal shot that killed Melissa Ortega and the 27-year-old driver of the vehicle involved were arrested this week, police said. The teenager was firing at a group of gang members standing on a street corner in the Little Village neighborhood shortly before 3 p.m. Saturday. Chicago Police Superintendent David O'Brown said Melissa was shot in the head by one of those rounds as she and her mother crossed the street. And I'm not gonna go further into this because I don't need to go further into that because we all know that was a baby and that baby lost her life over senseless violence. So from me, from BST to you, put the guns down. Stop the violence, brothers and sisters, because nobody wins. Nobody wins. We lose 2-for-1. And it's in my book, The Book of Raymond, A Journey from Prison, Praise, and Poetry. And it's called 2-for-1. Get the book, look it up, and you'll see that poem is so significant to what's going on to today. So we ask that you put the guns down, man. Stop the violence. Put the guns down. Stop the violence. Educate yourself. Also, I want to talk about Brother Peter. I don't know if y'all was aware of this. I had it on my page, and his name is Peter Bernardo Spencer. He was killed after accepting an invitation to go on a camping trip last month. Now, it's strange. You get invited to a trip, and you never make it back from the trip. Everybody else that went come back, but you the only one don't come back. And it just so happened that in the story, he happens to be the only black person there, and he wind up on the front lawn of the cabin. I would like for y'all, excuse me, getting the heater system put together today. So if you hear any noise, it's just me and the boys. They fixing that heat for me. So I'm gonna read a few of these inserts as we prepare to go into Myrtle. Family members of a black man who was killed last month are calling his death a modern day lynching. Peter Bernardo Spencer, 29, was shot several times at a home in Rockland. Let me get these excerpts out, because there's a lot of them. According to the Meadville Tribune, the DA's office stated, oh, they done skipped some stuff. I got it on my page, too. I thought I was doing something weird. But I probably have to get back to it. But the moral of the story is, Brother Peter was invited on a camping trip by one of his former co-workers, only to be gunned down. He was shot several times. He was shot in the mouth, in the abdomen, and in the chest, and in the buttocks. So I don't know if the gun flipped him, or they shot him from behind, or however that went down, but he was shot several times, and he was laid sprawled out on the lawn out there at the cabin, and he was the only one to be killed, and everybody else, which was not of color, was all right. And guess what? Nobody's in custody. So these things that just resonate, with you, and you think about how our children are out there dying at an alarming rate, and the senseless killings, and here this young man wanted to live, and they executed him. K. Lo said it sounded like he was a target. Man, it had to be, because there's no other way you can explain this. How can you explain you invite me out to a cabin, I go to the cabin with you and pretense of enjoying ourselves, and then I wind up dead, and I'm the only one get shot and killed, and I'm left on the lawn, sprawled out on the lawn, and y'all inside. Okay, I mean, I need to explain that, but ain't nobody in custody because they all white, so ain't nobody in custody. No. And the prosecution, they're a joke, and every day as I read these type of things, and it seems like the people, the powers that be, they ain't on nothing. So I don't know what's going on, but let me get into Myrtle. Myrtle R. Jackson is a lifesaver to some individuals. She has worked in the nonprofit sector for over 25 years, serving youth in need of mentorship and family, including scholarship and service. Wow, that's awesome. That is real huge. Excuse me 1 minute. So I'm going to say that again, y'all. Myrtle R. Jackson was a lifesaver to some individuals. She has worked in the nonprofit sector for over 25 years, serving youth in need of mentorship and family, including scholarship and service. Now, how many people do you know that provide services, not just mentorship, but they offer scholarships as well and giving you some service? She obtained her BS in business administration and her master's associates in criminal justice. So she got a BA and an MA. Woo! It's a bad sister here. In 2014, Myrtle opened up the doors to Excel Into Independent housing program, providing a safe, loving, and family environment. She has transitioned youth, young adults into independence from correctional facilities, homeless shelters, and to colleges, including trade schools. Myrtle's motto, this is her motto, ladies and gentlemen: homeless to housing, from being hungry to a meal plan, and from unemployment to work/study. Myrtle experience includes working with a number of agencies focusing on young women and men in need of housing, employment, and educational opportunities. That's heavy. She said in need of housing, employment, and education, right? So, what that tells me is this sister goes above and beyond the scope, the call of duty. As a lot of us just do the 9 to 5, Sister Myrtle goes above and beyond the call of duty. So she goes from housing, employment, and education. These are opportunities that you get when you're messing with Excel Into Independence, right? Over the last decade, her career experiences include working with startup programs, consulting, and focusing on youth in transition. She volunteers, advocates, and sponsors those in need of assistance. In addition, Myrtle continues to assist, support those essential needs of young adults infected and affected, check this out, by HIV and AIDS, former youth in care, homeless, and the recent release from prison. Now she's so bad, she don't just serve regular youth. She serves youth that's infected and affected. So this is what you call somebody who loves unconditional. So, man, ladies and gentlemen, this is an awesome, awesome, awesome sister. She has dedicated her passion to her life's work, right? Uh, right. She has dedicated her passion to her life's work and talent to serve. Myrtle's life goal has become assisting those who desire to excel and become independent. And ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you that I've worked with this sister for over the last 5 to 10 years, I think it is, and not one time has any young man or woman been let down by this sister who was dedicated to go back to school. She has helped, I have watched her help young men and women get in college with 1.8 and sometimes even a GED. So when you talk about dedication to the movement and what she believe in, this is dedication. Will come and meet you wherever you at. And I always tell her, hey man, you can't be going over there in these neighborhoods this time of night. Raymond, the young man, needed some help, so I went and got him. Raymond, the young lady, she was stranded, so I had to go pick up. Raymond, the young lady, this. Raymond, the young lady, that. Now, this is Myrtle, right? And we always get on her about, woman, you can't be out in the streets like that all times of night. And she is out there finding these young men and women that is in need, and she will take them to where they need to go in order to make sure that they get what they need. Not what they want, but what they need. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Miss Myrtle Jackson. Hey, Myrtle. How are you?
Hi.
Welcome to the
So
show.
humble.
Welcome to the show. I
Thank
just went
you.
over your fantastic bio and I shared it with the people. And I was just giving them an insert of how you get up and just fly out the house and people say they need you, them young people, and you just go. You don't care where you at. She be in Inglewood, y'all, all Roseland. She don't care where she at. The people call, she coming. We always tell Myrtle, you can't go everywhere. But the people need me, and she go. But one thing she do go with, she go with God. So Myrtle, how are you today?
I'm blessed. And I truly mean that. I am.
That's good to hear. So with I told them a little bit about you. Tell them about you. This is your show. It's your time.
I don't know where to begin. I have over 25 years in direct service. I have watched young people transition in and out of foster care, group homes. I have had young adults reach out to me that I was able to serve, which is very important in this industry, that I knew when they were small children, 10 and 12, they grew up, became adults, and they're still a part of the cycle. And which means that they too are in care, where it be in shelters, when they were in group homes, and they were in the youth shelters. Now they're in the adult shelters, and they have their grandchildren in the shelters with them.
Wow.
Not just their children, their grandchildren.
Wow. Well, tell us a little bit about how Excel came into existence. What made you go into Excel into independence?
Okay. Yeah, no problem. I had been thinking about doing this for many years, and I just kept saying to myself, it's got to be something different. It's got to be something I can do. I don't want to have another young person I run into in the streets and say, hey, I remember you. You were this person who did this or did that for me. And I say to them, where are you now? And they say, I'm in a shelter. And I say, okay. I said, well, what are your immediate needs right now? And if you could go back and make one change in your life from what you experienced, and it doesn't matter what it is, tell me. And many of them go back and they say, I don't want to be homeless, but I had no choice. I was in group homes, in and out of group homes, in and out of foster care. At 18 or 21, I aged out. I just want something normal. I just want to be like the other kids that I see. I want to have a home. I want to be a part of a family. So when you talk about my mission and my purpose, I think about what could I have done differently? What could I do to change the faces of homelessness? And many of the young people that I run into that are in the streets or in trouble, they don't come from stability. They come from disruption and chaos. Okay. And I thought that, okay, what is it that I'm doing? And what can I do? So when you spoke of my mission, it was to take them from being homeless to being housed, whether they're in Job Corps or on a college campus. That's stability.
Yes.
When I think about them being hungry on the streets, when they're saying, I'll do whatever I need to do to eat, no matter what, I'll take them from being hungry to having a meal plan. That meal plan can be in Job Corps or it can be on a college campus.
Wow.
And when you talk to some young people, they want instant gratification. Some, not all. They're thinking about, how can I get this money? How quick can I get it? And I always call them microwave babies. But I was a microwave baby. It was just a different time and a different era. I didn't have social media to reach out to and be like, yeah, I got to get this. I got to have that. And I say to them, but you can go from being unemployed to work, study, and or internship. So that's pretty much been my motto with working with them.
Wow.
So there's a plan and there's a solution to it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Do you have the desire for it? Is the question.
Right. So when I talk about these things, I talk about how, I watched you transform so many lives and help them go on to be productive. Like, what are some of the colleges that you get these young? First, let me back up.
Yeah, back up.
I remember, if I heard you correctly,
mm-hmm.
you were on the phone and you was telling a young man or a young lady, I don't know who it was, but you were saying, I don't care if you got a 1.8, I can get you in. If you dedicated to go, I can get you in. What motivates you to reach, I know the homeless part, I know the instability, but what else? There's something else, because I see just like the fire in you when the children call on you, you just change into super sister. I'm gonna call you super
Too much credit. When they call, which is my 1-800 number, when they call, the first question I ask is, where did you sleep last night? And then I said, well, what did you eat? What was the last thing you had to eat? And then I go into, well, where are you now? And then I tell them what I have to offer. And based on what they say to me, and it's typically about a 10 to 15 minute conversation, based on what they say, I say, well, this is what I have to offer. What are you willing to do for it?
Because the give and take. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a contract that they have to sign, like a memorandum of understanding and a agreement or something like that? Because I know you go above and beyond to get them in school. So, how does that work?
So what happens next is I typically meet them in a public place. And if they say they haven't had anything to eat, when you say I get up and go, I get up and go and I meet them somewhere. And the first thing I do is provide a meal. Mm-hmm. And I think that no matter what age you are, the conversation can be had over breaking bread.
Yes. Yes.
And I always hear people say the best way to a person's heart, not just to a man's heart, but to anybody's heart, is through food.
Right.
Right. Food
free
and conversation.
Food. I love free.
Mm-hmm. And it's free to them.
Right.
And so that's when I say to them, there's change and it can happen for you. And I tell them how. I say, if you don't have a high school diploma or a GED, you don't have to remain in that space. There's Job Corps. And of course, Job Corps has their requirements. And Job Corps they have worked with me in the past for young people. And I'm able to refer them to Job Corps. But if they do have a high school diploma or a GED, I have partnerships with colleges, primarily historical black colleges and universities, HBCUs, who are more than willing to assist.
Wow. So give us some names of some of them colleges.
Ooh, now.
Well, I don't know. I just want, because I heard some names and I was like, what?
Okay.
Man, you want to go back to school. Hey, man.
So we'll throw one out there. We'll say Howard University, but they're all not that big. Okay. Howard.
Right.
Howard has been very receptive to assisting. We'll throw another school out there, Jarvis Christian College.
Okay.
When you want to go big, you can also go small.
Right.
And that's not to say anything to slight the the institution. It's just to say that they may not have a big name, or they may not be as the campus may not be so big, or they may not be well known.
Right.
But these schools have worked with me, and I call and I say, well, how much is the dorm fee to get them in? I assist them with completing their FAFSA. And we go to Family Dollar. We get everything that they need to start them up, from comforters to sheets to pillows, whatever you purchase for your child to go to college, or any kid. We do the basics and we get them there. And then the colleges typically say, we got it on this end.
All right. Do you have any sponsors?
No, I am the only sponsor for this program.
Okay. Because I just want to shoot that out there for those of you who's out there listening. This sister does phenomenal work, and we all can pitch in and help out and give this sister a hand, because she's helped saving a lot of our children. Now, I'm looking at your bio, and I see that you got your bachelor's in business administration.
That is correct.
Is that correct? And what college was you into?
I went to Olivet Nazarene University. It is a Christian college, and I obtained my bachelor's degree in business.
Oh, okay. And then you got your master's. You got your master's there too, or you went somewhere else?
No, I went to Governor State University and obtained my master's degree.
Okay. All right. So, man, getting it done. So you leading by example. So, yeah, they can't say, because you went to college and you got what you need to get. And so you opened your doors in 2014, I see.
Yes.
How was that?
It was a challenge initially, because I wasn't able to get realtors or renters or apartment individuals to rent to me. Because no one wanted to take a risk. They felt like taking in youth who were homeless or off the streets or from Pacific Garden Mission, that these individuals would cause havoc. They would cause trouble in their community or destroy their property. And I was able to prove this one individual wrong, who took a chance on Excel and rented a 3-bedroom unit to me in the Roseland area.
Okay. All right. Wow. And so a lot of them are from Chicagoland area, but it's all walks. Am I correct?
Yes. So I have had young adults reach out to me from almost every state, from Memphis, Tennessee to Mississippi. In fact, one of the young people that I had an opportunity to work with, she attended a college in Arkansas. It was a struggle for her, but she was, able to do it. And then she returned back home to assist an elderly family member. And from there, that's where she's been. But she's called me back and said, I'm ready, except this time I'm going full speed ahead, but I want to be close to you. So she's going to come in the spring and attend Governor State University.
Okay. So during your 25-year course, what is the pros and the cons? Can you give us some of the pros and cons of doing this work? Because I know it's tedious. I know it's tedious work, and you definitely got to be dedicated to this job in order to see these young people through. So could you give us some pros and cons on this?
The pros, I would say, is making sure, we're not really making sure, but for me, my vision has always been to not be afraid of young people, although there are some we need to be afraid of. But just letting them know that before you steal their car, or before you go into Jewel's and walk around eating that chicken, or before you go in the dressing room and try on underwear and walk out the store, or put on that coat and take the tags off, or put on those shoes, that there is somebody who can assist you before you get in trouble and get that record. My goal was to really have the police the stores to call me before they put them in the police car and give them that free ride.
Right. So you're on the preventative side.
I'm on the prevention side.
Okay, that's good. That's a good thing. And we definitely need that in this, as we can see, it's definitely needed in our society right now as our young people are dying at an alarming rate. They're going to jail at an alarming rate, and some of them are losing their minds at an alarming rate. So that is definitely necessary. So I just, again, like I said, I commend you on the work, but I wanted to know your statistics. I mean, like the ones, how many succeeded, how many failed, how many succeeded. I guess that'll be your next question.
That's a good question. Success is not defined by failure. I don't even put them in the same sentence. Once an individual come to me and say, I need your help, and this is, I don't want to be on the streets anymore. I don't want to sleep in an abandoned car lot. I'm just giving you some of the calls that I get.
Okay.
I can't do another shelter. I was locked up. I'm out now, and I can't go back. Or my grandmother put me out because there's 12 others in the same house, and I'm just tired of fighting over food. Or I don't want to have to sell no more. This ain't what I want to do. I'm taking care of everybody else, but nobody's taking care of me.
Okay.
I have a baby and I can't even feed my baby. Those are some of the reasons why I do this. But like I said before, I get calls from all over. I even got a call from Mexico, and I don't even speak Spanish, but she was bilingual. Wow. So when a person reach out to me and they say, I need you, I say, well, that comes with something. And that comes with saying that once you tell me you need me and I help you, you're forever a part of Excel. Excel stands for excelling into independence. We didn't become independent on the first try. We all failed at some point.
Okay.
So I'm going to always be there for you no matter what. My phone always, when you call me, I'm going to answer. If you text me, I'm going to answer.
Wow. And how can some people that's listening right now, how can they contribute if they want to donate to you? Do you have an email? Do you have a website where they can contribute? Because I know some people out there that really, really wants to donate and get involved. In fact, I have Tracy Crawford said, I remember the call from Mexico. She said she remembered. Hey, Tracy.
Yes.
Hey. Oh, my brother.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Well.
Yeah, they got another one of the sisters, and it's just a beautiful thing, man, to have, and my thing is always want to give back to the people who's giving back, who's actually making a difference in our people's lives. And, Myrtle, you're one of them. And then Sister Tracy is another one. And so it's just amazing how all this came into fruition, how we all met. It was like, wow. But we know it was in God's hands. And I'm just excited to have you on the show. And I'm excited. My sister, I haven't seen my sister in so long. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Hey, man. Y'all set me up. Y'all wrong for that. Y'all is wrong for that. That's okay. That's okay. Yes. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm very excited to see you. It's a beautiful. And so
Tracy helped me pack a suitcase for a young man before. We was trying to get him together.
Right. And so that's the thing.
She can share with you what she did.
Go ahead, Tracy. Give us some. Get a drum some, as they say.
It's just everything that Myrtle does and everything that she's done since I've met her has been really impressive. And one thing that I admire her for is her tenacity. She doesn't quit, And if someone says help, she's going to make sure she gets help for them. She's going to go without, and get whatever they need. It's all the way down to toiletries, underwear, suitcases. I think we had gotten suitcases, because you had to remember, how is she going to get this stuff to them? She's not just going to take it to them and put it in a plastic bag, because that's how they're moving around, with plastic bags. So she said she wanted them to feel, like they had a chance. And walking around with a plastic bag just says you're homeless. Walking around with a suitcase says you're going somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. That's awesome. So, hey, Myrtle, let me ask you this. What you is so busy Where do you find this time? Because I look up, you is everywhere. I thought I moved. Sister, you be moving. But for some reason, God got you in a position to serve his children. And
Mm-hmm.
you are excellent at it. And it's amazing how when we have like BST, they say like brothers standing together. What that mean? That no, it doesn't mean black brothers. It means any brother who is standing for the cause of
Mm-hmm.
justice and equality. That's our brother. And that's who we standing with. That's who we moving with. So, and with you, with Excel into Independence, you're walking these young men and women, you teaching them how to become productive.
Independent.
You're giving them something that probably wasn't given to them at home. And sometimes we turn to the streets, because I know I did. I went straight to the streets at 11 to find whatever I thought was out there, but it wasn't nothing out there. So you're telling them, look, you can take that and turn it into an education. You can turn it into a degree, and you can go on and do some magnificent things that you don't even know. And one of the things I do know that is everything that you want is right inside of you. It's up to you to bring it out of you. But sometimes it's not the you, it's people like you who brings it out of us. So I commend you on that. And it's just a marvelous thing, man. I'm just excited to have you on the show. I'm excited to work with you. I was just thinking last night about Myrtle gonna be on the show. Is she gonna have time? She be moving and all this. And so, but I reflect back on when we took the trip to, what's that, Flossmoor?
Yes, I think to the church.
When we got the furniture.
Yes.
We went
And
and got the
I have
furniture.
to give a shout out to them, Korean
Yeah.
Methodist Church.
Yes. We went out there and we
Mm-hmm.
got the desks, we got
Yes.
chairs, we got
Yes.
everything we needed for this office. And we went and we put that office together. And it was so amazing that it was like effortlessly. You say, come on out there. We get out there, we drive the truck out there, we load it up, we pack it up, and we come back. And do you know it's still there to this day? And the pastor just asked me, he said, Raymond, are you coming back? I said, yes, I'll be back and forth, but the office will be utilized. So I want to commend you and the church. What's the name of the church, Myrtle?
Korean Methodist Church.
Yes, they and what's the pastor name?
I cannot think of the pastor name. Forgive me. I can tell you though, but
what's the guy that helped us? What was his name?
John.
Brother John.
Yes.
Brother John was amazing, and he stayed. He called me a few other times, like, Brother Raymond, if you need something, you come on out. But that's a long way out. Woo, Lord.
Yes, it is.
That's out there. But anyway, this is the dedication of making sure that our people have somewhere to come to. We did the job readiness program. And out of that job readiness program, that young man is now in CTA. And so this is some of the stuff that's happening that I was like, wow, okay. And then just like a light, you was in the wind and you came back and you said, Raymond, guess what? I got this, and this. And I said, okay, it's time to come on the show. So now here you are. Now tell us about somebody. I want to hear the story about the young lady.
Which one?
The baby. Remember the young lady with the baby?
Yeah.
How did that, what's going on? What's the status with her?
Not just with her. There's quite a few young ladies that I've worked with, but just as many young ladies, I've had double amount of young men. My program initially was set up to only assist young ladies. I quickly had to change that because I had a young man from the West Side reach out to me, West Side of Chicago, and say to me, I know that it says on the website, women, but I really need your help. And I said, okay, talk to me. Tell me what you need. I could sit there and read a script or go from the book, but I really need to let them know that I'm here with them to work with them where they are. And he said, I live with my mother. And she told me I got to go. And I'm like, where am I going to go? She said, well, get a job, do something, but you can't lay up in here. She said, I got bills to pay and you're not contributing. So what does a young person do? They don't know where to start and where to go. You know, and I just recently heard from him. He lost his brother to gun violence and his sister from COVID.
Whew.
And so he's in and out of school. But the most important thing that we need to get out of this message, this young brother is independent. He got a job in construction.
Okay.
He was able to secure an apartment in Arizona.
Oh,
he even told me that Arizona take homeless people from various states and drop them off there because of the climate.
Yes, they do.
True. I can attest to that because my daughter.
I remember I was just there, but 2 months ago? It was 3-4 months ago. I was out there because that's actually where I was going to land. Mm-hmm. That was my initial plan, was to go out to Arizona because I got a brother Dennis out there, and as I was telling you, we have a chapter now out there, a BST out there. And so I was going out there and I was saying, this is where I'm going to be, God? Is this where you want me to be? And Dennis and a young lady, they took me on the journey because, I always, when I get there, where the homeless is, I'd have to find the homeless. And she was like, okay, we can go find them. And then we found them. We bought food. And so when we went there, I was amazed at they have a homeless university, and it's so big to where they get to stay, I think 60 to 90 days, and they help them, with the resume and things like that. They help them find jobs and things of that nature, and then along the lines down the street, they have the parking lots, but the parking lots are all filled with tents. And I said, what is this, a concentration camp? Because the young brother said, if you're not in by a certain time, you can't get in. And I'm saying, get in where? We outside. But these are the rules and regulations that they have. And so I filmed it. I filmed some of it on my Facebook page. Mm-hmm. And it was just an experience like no other, because I coming from there, I know. And so when I was talking to the young lady, she was like, well, you seem to know a lot about being homeless. I said, yeah, because I was homeless. And she looked at me like, come on, man, are you? I said, yeah, I was homeless. I said, I used to live in Chicago. I was living on the Lower Wacker Drive. I ate out the garbage cans. I stepped outside. So I understand their dynamics. I understand the trauma that they're going through. I understand their position they're in. Because a lot of us, and people don't understand that. And I'm glad you pointed that out about the mental health. You pointed that out, Sister Myrtle. Mm-hmm. You addressed that. And so, because a lot of people just think that our children just be out there. But could you explain to them how many children out there that really don't want to be out there, but they are forced to be out there?
It's quite a few. And when you ask me what I need, let me tell you just real quick what I do need. I first of all, my goal is to kind of set up in every state, especially in Memphis, because Memphis shelters are always crowded. Always. Memphis, Tennessee. Wow. Okay. Certain parts of Mississippi don't have shelters at all. I get a couple of calls from Clarksdale, Mississippi. Actually, one of the kids I have in my program is from Clarksdale. And they had one shelter there a couple of years ago. And that shelter, that lady, I talked to her, she told me she went to Atlanta because she wasn't getting the support she needed from the state of Mississippi. Wow. And she asked me, how was I supporting my program? And I told her completely out of pocket. She said, you're paying rent, light, gas, and food? I said, yes. I said, out of my pocket. And she said, there's no way I could survive like that. I said, but what I didn't tell you is I had a 9-to-5.
Okay. There you go. Right.
What I did was I found some individuals who was willing to volunteer their time, because my program was 24 hours supervised. And then I found programs throughout the city of Chicago who had people in their program that needed to earn their income that they got from the state.
Okay.
TANF recipients. And so it was a way that I could offer them, Raymond, what you and I talked about, JRT, job readiness training. Yes. Teach them how to get a resume and write a resume and apply to jobs, and give them an opportunity to say, hey, I had a job and I was in direct service. Not only did I receive a paycheck, but I was able to volunteer and give back.
Yes.
And so that went pretty good for a while. Unfortunately, the landlord thought that I was receiving funding because I was driving a Mercedes. I didn't get a dollar.
Right.
I didn't get a dollar. I'm like some other people out here. I have desires and goals myself.
Right.
I was being blessed by other people who would say, "Hey, I'll pay your light bill this month." You know, or I'm going to drop off a couple of bags of groceries. And you know what? Let me back up. It's not other people. I'm going to give just due to who it came from. And I'm not even at that time a member of that church, Apostolic Church. They didn't ask any questions. They came through like a champ. And they made sure that I had food to feed them for Thanksgiving. They made sure that those young people had gift cards, gift certificates to get them clothing. You know, and so, and it's not to be, you know, to say anything about the churches in Chicago, but there's one on every corner, which means, and that corner, that storefront, there's apartments in many of them. And in most cases, they own the building. How come those people that standing 3 blocks down can't come and rest their head? How come they can't come take a shower? How come you don't have jobs lined up for them to work?
Because they're not paying taxes and they're getting funding. So why would they spend their money on those people?
You know why? I spend my money because guess what? I'm still being blessed.
That's
and
it.
I don't have to worry about anybody walking up to me and saying, and I'm not saying it can't happen, but I'm saying I'm not fearful of saying, hey, get out your car, give me those keys.
But you bring a good point up, because I always, you know, your brothers directing up front, and I always challenge the churches. I challenge the ones who think they arrived, you know. And I told them, I said, when last time you just pulled up, excuse me, at a bus stop or L stop, and just got out and rapped to some of the brothers and sisters, you know?
How come the young men out there on the corner with the instruments preparing for the Bud Billiken parade next year? They're right there on 95th. I stopped just a couple of days ago on my way to my second job because I got 3. And I said to the young brother, I said, hey, you know, I said, are you under 24? He said, actually, I'm over that. I said, do you mind if I give you my card? He said, sure. I said, just in case you think you need something, you call me. He took my card. I wasn't afraid because I know God got me.
Right.
That's on 95th and Stony, right there. Everybody drive past there every single day.
Yeah.
And
they get themselves together for the Bud Billiken Day parades, right?
I'm making an assumption, but if you have
saying, you know, that's a hustle too, because you know, they need to eat too. You know what I'm saying? But they're not robbing people.
They're not robbing people.
They're not shooting people.
They're not shooting people.
You know, so these are the people that we should be trying to support, and not only just giving them a handout, but let's give them a hand up.
Give them a hand up.
You know, that's the thing that that's why, you know, my motto is the people don't want to know how much you know, they want to know how much you care. And that's why BST, we the best of our ability to show them how much we care. And so with that being said, you know, I took my hat off to Excel, because you go above and beyond the call of duty when you don't have to. And keep it real all the way funky. Their parents don't even do what you do. Even in the midst, even though that is your child. At the end of the day, that's your child. Now, if somebody else can come and prepare and motivate your child better than you can, then that's saying something. Not saying that you're not. A lot of parents not doing what they can do, but it's like, are you doing enough? You know, are you going that extra mile? Because today, a lot of parents, and I tell them all the time, you have to cut the umbilical cord. Because not cutting that umbilical cord, you're not allowing them to learn. Now, I'm not just saying throw them to the streets, but you know, that's one thing my mom was talking about: to cook, clean, wash, and sew. I know, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, yes, sir. You know, I take the garbage out. I know when I'm out kicking it to respect my elders. You know, these are morals and principles that our youth today, unfortunately, they don't have them, or they don't even care to use them. It's not that they don't have them; I just think they don't care to use them.
No, they don't have them.
And so, and if the parents don't have them, guess what? I can promise you most of them have the desire. When you mentioned desire, Raymond, initially, they have the desire they want their children to have it. In most cases, they don't have the information and the resources.
And
Okay,
that's the problem. That's the problem. Not having
that is. And we do the pride thing, you know, we big on the pride thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I come right in and I tell them, I say, hey, you know, I could be in the same situation you in. And I raised myself. I went through a lot myself as a teenager. And I was not homeless. I was not abused. But I've worked in this industry for over 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched these young people and I care. And so when I see them or I see a parent get involved, or, you know, someone who says they heard about what I do and they say, well, you know what, I want you to help my son or daughter, and they got a job and somebody else in their house got a job. And I say to them, make a donation. I don't tell them how much. I said, no donation is too small, but know that what I'm doing for your child, I want to do for somebody else. And you're taking the pressure off me if you help me help someone else. So if you making $25,000, $30,000 a year, that's not a lot of money, but guess what? You can spare $25.
Yeah.
You can, if you're making nothing, you can take your link card and buy a loaf of bread, and you can buy some sandwiches, and you can get some chips and some juice. So when I put that kid on that long bus ride from Chicago to Memphis and from Memphis to Arkansas, they got something to eat. When I got a kid coming from California who found me on the internet and say, look, I'm coming to Chicago and I want to know if you can help me. They need something too.
Yes, they definitely
So I
do.
tell them, sit tight. Let me send you some McDonald's gift cards, some Dunkin' Donut gift cards.
Yeah.
I have them, and I reload them for those kids that's in college. And I say, here you go. You can get you a sandwich. You can get you something to drink.
And that's just a little small things, you know, baby steps in order to help. Because that means a lot. I mean, especially on the streets, because I know behind incarcerated, it means so much to get $25. That, I mean, you're on top of the world, you get $25. So to be out in the street to get it, and you're a young person for example, a lot of us don't recognize that it's the little things that count. They think about all the big things, but like your time, just for you pulling over or you taking their call, saying hello, and allowing them to vent. And then after they vent, you give them some insight and wisdom on how they can change their life. And so with that being said, that happens too few and not often. I'll say that, because a lot of these programs are set up to get a kickback. You know, it's a numbers game, you know, and I seen that numbers game. When I came home, it was a numbers game. You know, show up at this place and sign in, and they was deaf on you. You be like, what's the big thing about signing?
And you didn't get anything till you signed that paper.
Exactly. So I found out this is the hustle. And so I understand that. And then, you know, No Child Left Behind, you know, my brother Sean, he got an organization, No Kids Down the Shot, you know. And so I just wanted to put it out there. I want you on the show because I want people to see that there are people out there that's doing extraordinary things, that from all walks of life. You know, somebody said, yes, Ms. Myrtle, anything can help. Anything. Somebody just said that. So a lot of parents want to keep their children as friends instead of parenting. That's another
you know what? It's so funny you say that. I think I told you, Raymond, a young man that I was working with, he went back to another state where he was from to help out a family member and got in trouble, and now he's in prison.
Yes.
And you know, when he was here, he was doing well, but he got that call, and that call said, hey, can you come back, because you can get paid if you just help grandma out. They're gonna give you a check. You just got to show up.
Yeah.
And it really broke my heart. I begged them to stay. But family, they sometimes have a hold on you, and they don't always have your best interest at heart. Then those that do, they just don't have the information and the resources to do what they need to do to keep you safe.
Somebody said time is everything.
Time is everything. Time is everything. But let's talk about really what I need real quick,
Let's
because
talk
I don't know
about
how much time we have.
what you need.
I
Need.
really truly need someone to take a chance. If you have a grandparent, an elderly aunt or uncle, and they in a house,
Say that, Miss Myrtle.
and they in this house, and you need help with that house, and you can really take that grandparent or that elderly person and bring them with you, let me rent that house. But don't try to get rich, because like I told you, I got 3 jobs. That money, one of the employers that I have, their money is solely for the kids.
Uh-huh.
Solely for them. And I've allocated that money just for that. And then my other job, that money is allocated for me so that I can stay strong in my mental health, because I'm constantly working. So I take time out for me, and I take vacations. I have never taken $1 from a donation ever. And it haven't been a lot. I could say since 2014, if I had to guess, it was less than 5,000.
Okay.
But I've paid the dorm fees. I've paid for comforters, sheet sets, hygiene supplies. As Tracy says, suitcases. Can you send me $25? I know I'm in work study. It's not enough money.
Let me interrupt her.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that she did, and I begged her not to do this. I begged her not to, after working these 3 jobs, not to get on the road to go down and support a child that was getting ready to graduate from a college that she put him into.
Okay.
I begged her not to go. And what did she do? She
went.
got in her car so he wouldn't be alone, so he would
Yeah.
have somebody there to support him. This is what she did. This is how fearless and how unselfish this woman is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't,
And
don't
so
do
the
it.
young lady here on the call said, I need your number, Miss Myrtle. Can I help?
Yes.
And this is what she needs. She needs help. She needs assistance. She has been at this. She wanted to give up.
Yes, so many times.
But her spirit wouldn't let her give up.
Yeah, I mean, it's in there, it's in her. So, all you guys out there that's listening, that want to contribute, Ms. Myrtle put an email on, and you can take that email address and you can donate. If not money, you can donate time. Like you said, time. I heard one of the Facebook users say, "Time is everything." It is everything, and with the work that she's doing, she should be commended and she should be awarded. She should have something that's taken off her. And so, BST is here to help her as well, because we believe in the cause and the movement as well. So we're out advocating funds now as we speak in order to further her mission. And we just ask that you give in. If it's $5, $10, $2, $1, whatever you can give in order to keep it going. Because like she said, not today, but tomorrow, it might be your child who needs to go to school and get off those streets. It may be your child who needs to come out the shelter. So we're just asking you to give back what was so freely given to you. And that was love and a chance, because our children needs an opportunity. And it's not that they don't have nowhere to go, but they don't have nothing to do. So if they don't have nothing to do and nowhere to go, that spells trouble.
Yeah,
so here's a lady that's willing to pull you, take the children and put them somewhere where they can be productive. They can go on and be whatever they want to be in life, but they just need an opportunity, because most of all, every one of us, all we needed was a chance. And here's your chance to give back. So we just asking that. There's her number, Ms. Myrtle, Excellence into Independence. You have your email up there, or that's your website?
That you can look that up. That's
you
it.
Go to
it's
the website.
IntoIndependence.org, and the phone number is 855-392-3512. It's a toll-free number.
Say it again,
Put that on there.
Say it again. Also, she has PayPal, Cash App.
Yeah. And y'all know Zelle works very well. Zelle works very well. Yeah.
So anywhere from $1 on up.
Yeah.
And gift cards.
Another thing,
gift cards too.
If you're cleaning out your homes and you want to get rid of some clothing, some shoes, some coats,
in mint condition.
Repeat the phone number.
Sure. 855-392-3512.
Yes. So we're gonna put that out. And Mint Condition, it's giving back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like with the coat and toy drive. You know, hug a child, make a change. I'm gonna have her to reach out. You know, because she's the similarities to everything that we're doing, and I think that that'll be a great combination with you, and you guys can work together as well. Because man, I'm talking about giving back is what it's all about, and so that's why we're doing it. And another thing we're doing now, as me and you were talking, Myrtle, I'm still in talks of that the unit on in Broadsville, and I'm also looking at the unit over in South Holland. And now we're even targeting some schools. We're going to target a few schools in the city of Chicago and see how that can work out. Because I believe in my heart of hearts, I know that with the training facility, you know, there can come some living quarters as well. We can transform that in, you know, because at the end of the day, it's like you said, they got front storefronts they're not using, they got churches they're not using, they got buildings, they got warehouses they're not using none of this stuff. So we're asking that you, our local officials, reach out to Excel Into Independence and talk with her and see what you can come up with. I have got you set up with a few people that you'll be having the one-on-ones with, that God's willing, they'll be able to provide, if nothing else, some help. I don't know if they can do the help what you're looking for, but they can provide something. And that's all she's asking for at this time. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you know anybody that has something to give, we asking that you come and give it.
I need space. I really do. I need an apartment, a 3-bedroom. And when I say, I promise you, they won't be alone ever. There will be no destruction of property at all, ever. If they needed to speak to the prior landlord I had, she gave me my full deposit back because I left the unit immaculate.
Immaculate. And if anything, if you have something need to be fixed up, that's Brothers Standing Together's here. My construction company can come in and we can repair anything that needs to be repaired in order for her to have her facility. And Sister Tracy does it as well. So if you need something fixed up, that ain't no excuse. So if you have something out there that you're willing to give it, because guess what? You're giving for a great cause. You're not just giving in vain. You're giving a great cause. As you can see, the woman's been in this game for 25 years, and she's not just somebody just walked off the street. She went and got educated herself and come back to educate us and to help us and to show us. She's showing not only youth, she's showing adults that could be productive as well. There's a lot of us got aspiration to go back to school too. So see, there's no limit. So we just asking that from your heart, you can go to our website and you can give whatever you can give. We have some clothes, cars, jewelry, whatever it is, houses, give so that she can in turn help our young people become productive members of society. You talk about they shoot all the time. You talk about their pants sagging. You talk about them drinking lean. You talk about them just being disrespectful. But let's talk about them being educated. Let's talk about them being productive. Let's talk about them graduating from going to school. Let's talk about them purchasing their first home. Let's talk about them going to the lot and buying their first car. Let's talk
going
about
into the military. Going into the military.
Or going to the army.
That's right.
Else. Let's talk about those things, though. Let's stop talking about all them. We know what they ain't doing.
And if I can say one thing, when you donate and give, please, please, please stop taking pictures and posting on social media. Look what I gave. I'm passing this out. This is for them. That's not giving from your heart. To me, that's just me saying.
It's the truth.
I try not to be judgmental. But give and don't take a picture of it. Just say this family, or take a picture from here on down.
Okay. No, just don't take a picture, Myrtle.
I'm okay with a picture. Just don't put them out there.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be posted. You know, a gentleman one time said to me, he said, yeah, you know, I could use your help, but I'm a former professor, and I keep in contact with my students. He was homeless. He was at the pads.
Okay.
And he said that someone gave him something and put the picture on social media. And he got a lot of responses from people saying, hey, Professor, I didn't know you was in that situation. Let me help you. And he said, I wasn't mentally ready for help.
Wow.
He said, but I didn't need everybody to know where I was either.
Here's the number, Excel into Independence, 855-392-3512. Take it down, call, let's make some changes. But you're absolutely right. And I'm guilty of it because I do it. I go places and I take pictures, but I'm just showing my intentions of it is to show people that we can do it and we can overcome together. So I think I'm showing it more of the prosperous side of how God is gifted and what we give him back. Now, a lot of people does it, for the grandiose, but
I know you do, Brother Raymond.
A lot of people tell me, I have got a lot, like when we was doing Tent City, the brother stepped to me, he was like, hey, Brother Raymond, that's your name? Brother Raymond? Bro, I don't do the picture thing. And I respected that. I said, I respect that. He said, now, everybody else might do it. I don't do the picture thing. Because we never know. They might be running from somebody. Because you got to take all this stuff in consideration. Something might be going on. They might have been abused and they running and they don't want to be found.
Right, exactly.
But we unknowingly, we do it unconsciously. And we take the picture because we're saying, look what we done. And we trying to show people we're doing a good deed. Also can turn out to be catastrophic.
Yeah, it could be detrimental.
So just be mindful. She's saying be mindful. Ladies.
Be mindful. Be
take
mindful
picture,
of it.
just be mindful of it.
Be mindful.
And always get permission. Just don't take the picture.
Yeah.
Ask, do you want to? Is it okay if I take your picture? That's what I started to do now. As I go different places before I do anything, I pray, of course, and then after I pray, I say, well, we're going to give out food, we're going to give out clothes, and we're going to take pictures. Is it all right if we take pictures? If it's not, if you don't want to be in the picture, let us know so we won't put you in there. So that way they have an option.
Some
people
and some of my kids is running from the law. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I say everybody don't need to know everything.
Yeah. Because I've been there. I've been on the run.
But if I can, real quick, I want to just say this.
It's your show, baby. Do what you do.
I just want to say this. When Tracy brought up, she begged me not to go. That was a long ride to Arkansas. I've asked a lot of people to ride with me, and they weren't able to do it for various reasons. But I did end up getting another lady to ride with me who don't drive. That ride was brutal going, and it was super brutal coming back. And it wasn't enough coffee on the highway to help me stay afloat. But I made it back. I caught a $300 ticket. Had to take a driver's test this year, but it was all worth it because this kid had a job, okay? And he slept in one of the colleges that nobody even knew about.
Wow.
And then he went to Walmart every day with a smile on his face, didn't say nothing. And he graduated from college debt-free.
Whoa.
The Jack and Jill Foundation.
Say that again.
The Rockefeller Foundation paid his back debt.
Say that again.
And all that happened on the same day.
All that happened on the same day.
It all happened on the same day.
He graduated debt-free from a historical Black college and university.
Wow. Debt-free, she said.
Debt-free. I owe $180,000 in student loans. I don't know if I'm going to ever find my way out of it.
Right.
But he graduated debt-free. And that made me so proud. And I was there.
And she was
there. He had been through the system. He had been through everything. You name it, he'd been through it. But he made it.
He made it. And that was from the help of you, sisters like yourself, who believe.
That just wasn't the help. That was the energy that she put out. It was a positive energy that flowed through her that caused, because all of that happened on the same day. He became debt free on the day he graduated.
Yes. That again, that's from Excel into Independence, that's being there, reaching out, giving back, because a lot of times they don't give back, and we'll just say, oh, He ain't gonna be nothing. She ain't gonna be nothing.
Raymond, you should have him on your show.
Well, sure. You know, I love. I would love to have him on the show.
You should have him on your show. He's elevated. He's in Texas. He's doing big things.
Oh, he down here?
He's in Dallas. He's doing
Okay.
exceptionally well.
Okay, that's awesome. I would love to call him, make it happen. You know, let's make it.
I will. You should have him on the show because he got a story to tell.
Yeah,
he got a story to tell.
I'll be in Dallas. You know, I'll be back and forth. You know, I'll be doing little speaking engagements. So I'll maybe we can contact and let them know when I'll be up that way because I got a few buddies from Dallas, and so I go from time to time. We hang out and kick it because they hadn't seen me in a long time, and I ain't seen them in a long time. And then when speaking engagements prevent, I go up there. They fly me up there, or I tell them I'll drive. Only a few hours. But yeah, that'd be a beautiful thing. That'd be a beautiful thing. And this is what this show is for. This, you notice I don't have a lot of people, grandiose people on my show because they already know what you're doing. We're talking about the people that they don't see. We're talking about boots on the ground, blood, sweat, and tears. We're talking about people who built stuff from the vision and with the help of God, you know, and they brought it into fruition and they fighting. And when they telling them it can't happen, they making it happen. And that's what you are. You are one of those people. You know I'm one of those people. Tracy are one of those people.
Yes.
See, we do these things in spite of when they tell us, oh, it ain't gonna happen. You can't do it, you know. If I'd have listened, I wouldn't be doing the show right now, you know. I wouldn't have been doing it. So I'm ready. In fact, I'm excited to have a young brother on the show and have you back on the show to, you know, to show them this is happening. This is real. Excel into independence is real. You got to give yourself a chance and you got to be dedicated to change. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about you young people out there that may be listening. If you're ready to change your life, Excel into independence is the right place for you. Don't be afraid because it'll be a great opportunity if you to decide to take it. And if I was you, I would take it. So that's a number again, 855-392-3512. Take it. Take the call. Walk on faith. We all walked on faith. Sister Myrtle, myself, Tracy, Katie Lowe, we all walked on faith. This was not something that was just done by design. We was led by the Spirit to do this, and that's why she does it. You think this woman, she got a master's and a bachelor's degree. She don't have to do what she's doing. She's not she hadn't fallen to the wayside. She is gifted. She uses her gifts and her talents. And this is one of her gifts and her talents is to give back what was so free to give her. And that's why she do what she do. And that's why we asking you to donate to this sister and help her to add more. Let the cycle continue. Build a company. You know, we always talk about it takes a village. Well, it's going to take a village to help Excel into independence get even bigger and better, and we can have more young men and women graduating and more. See, what it does, as I was telling you last time, Myrtle, it reduces violence, it reduces recidivism, it reduces homelessness, right? And it was another one it reduces homelessness, recidivism, and it reduces unemployment.
Yes.
So now, when you go to school, get your education, now you can get you a job. Not only that, you can get you somewhere to live. Now you can pay for you somewhere to live. You don't have to ask no one. You can pay. You can write a check. You can save your money. Get your bank account. Teach you all that. Financial literacy, all that. All that comes with Excel into independence. So you have to take your chance and leap of faith like we all did. And you'll be there, you know? I know you, Lo.
I need to interrupt for a second. I challenge anybody out there. I'm getting ready to make a $25 donation to Excel to Independence. I challenge anybody to match my donation.
Okay, I'm gonna match it. I'm gonna match 25 as well.
Okay.
So we need some of you guys to match it.
So Myrtle, I'm doing it through PayPal.
Okay.
Okay.
You got Cash App?
Yes, it should be under Excel into Independence.
I don't know about all that. Y'all already know I don't.
Right.
Your number? Can I just use your number?
Yeah, it's my personal number, but you know, if you do Excel into Independence, it will pop up.
Oh, okay. Well,
it will.
Use this number?
So I can give you that just to help you out. Hold on.
Can you put your your PayPal information and your Cash App information up there so people can go ahead and start donating?
Uh-huh. I just saw something pop up that said I had something. Sure can. Tracy, what did you use? And forgive me because I'm not used to getting donations and cash
That's
donations.
right. I'm with you on that one. Because people were saying, I gave you something. So you did what? Bless your heart. Yeah.
Well,
But if you put in Excel into Independence, because there is a link for that under the PayPal.
Okay, well, I just did. I sent it directly to you. So,
right, that's what I was trying to do. I don't.
Okay, so let me just try to log in.
Okay.
And see.
I don't.
Let me just see. All righty. I had someone. Let me look what he used.
Okay, because this one says at Excel 2011.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. So I sent it to Myrtle Rycraw and then it came up Excel 2011.
Okay. So I don't need a van because I'll put them in my car. I just
You need a van too. You need a van.
You need a van.
Yeah,
Definitely
you're right.
Let's not say what you don't need. If a person offers you a van, then let's say thank you.
Okay. The most immediate need now is just a place. I just need to get the young people off the streets and into a place where they can rest their head and say, my next step is, and we know what this next step is. And I just told a young man today, I said, do what you're supposed to do now so you can do what you want to do later.
Mm-hmm.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it now. And then later, whatever it is your heart desire, you got it. Everything is achievable.
And everything that you think from now on, be positive. Stop putting negative thoughts into your head. It doesn't matter what a person tells you can't do. You always know that you can do it. You can, no matter what they say.
You're right.
That's how you made it down that road that day.
Oh my goodness.
I told you, don't go. You can. You can't do this.
I was sitting at work. I had did it overnight.
Yeah. You're tired. Exhausted.
This woman here, I'm telling y'all don't know the half of this woman here. Something else.
And when she called me and said I'm on the road, then the only thing I could do was just pray and ask God to send his angels down to guide her and get her there safely.
And he did, and he brought me back. He definitely brought me back
safely. She didn't tell me about the ticket. She said I'm home.
Yeah, because I didn't want nobody to say, well, look, let me help you out with that. No, that's okay. I got it. And you see, we have t-shirts, and the t-shirts are typically for the kids as a reminder that they can excel into independence.
And that should be for anybody.
Anybody. You're right. You're absolutely right.
It's so many times that she's encouraged me when I wanted to give up, tired. And she just said,
okay, well, you have the name, you have the number. And so with that being said, it's at that time, donate. And don't just be on the show. Donate from your heart. Give back what was so freely given to you. Help Excel in Independence grow into what you would want to grow into. Imagine yourself in her shoes and picture where you want to be. And let's help Sister Myrtle get to where she want to be. Myrtle Jackson, it's been an honor and a privilege to have you on the show. Tracy, y'all tricked me with this. Y'all got me, but I'm going to get y'all off air. But once again, it was I appreciate you guys coming. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been tuned in to another conversation with Brother Raymond. And as always, I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Until next week, peace and love. And remember, you've had a conversation with Brother Raymond. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.